Tiffany from the Miller Branch Library. This is Bryan Alexis.
Ta-da.
Today we are at the Community Service Clearinghouse where Bryan has created this fantastic mural behind us. So Bryan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So Tiffany, I am a professor at the University of Arkansas in Fort Smith, and I teach graphic design. And about 5 years ago, man, going on 6 years ago, I think now, when Fort Smith had the Unexpected Festival came in town, they approached the school wanting to involve the students in the mural, and that was one of the very first murals that I did in town. And I loved it so much, and people loved it so much that it just kind of snowballed from there. We were involved in the Unexpected for 3 years, and since then, I've done about 14 murals in and around this region.
Wow, that's really impressive. Tell us a little bit about this mural.
Okay, so this mural is for the Community Services Clearinghouse, and they are all about helping our community, feeding children in our community through the backpack program, helping those that are in need, families that are in need, and emergency needs. We put this mural together for them, and simply what we have is just a child that is holding an apple aloft, and this speaks to giving and receiving food and the joy of giving and receiving help to people that need it. And their slogan is "No child should ever go hungry." And so we wanted to include that in there. And then radiating out from this apple is these heart shapes that just are like concentric heart shapes and very vibrant, bright colors, because I think that this kind of service brings that bright vibrancy to this community. And so, those hearts, and of course the heart is the symbol of
love.
That's right. And it takes community, it takes love to do this service for children that are in need and that are hungry. The good people at the Community Services Clearinghouse has named her Hope because they bring hope to the children of this community, and I'm very excited to be a part of this project, Tiffany.
Thank you, Bryan, for joining us. The mural looks fantastic. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're really proud of it, and I'm sure Community Service Clearinghouse is really proud of it too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today's book is called Maddi's Fridge, and it's written by Lois Brandt. When Sophia and Maddi played at the park, they stretched their toes to the sky. They climbed to the top of the ladder and flew off at the end of the slide. They stayed until buildings grew long shadows and even the taxis stopped honking. "Let's play on the climbing wall," Maddi said. "No way," Sophia said. "I can't reach." "Yes way." Maddi scooted to the top of the wall. "Your turn." Sophia put a foot on the bottom rock, grabbed with one hand, and stretched, but she couldn't reach the next hold. Sophia's stomach growled. "I give up. Let's get a snack." "No way," Maddi said. "Let's stay here." "Yes way." Sophia ran to Maddi's building and raced up the stairs. "Wait!" Maddi ran after her. Maddi was the best climber, but Sophia was the fastest runner. Sophia swung open the door of Maddi's fridge. "What do we got?" "We have milk," Maddi said. "I'm saving it for Ryan. He's still little." "Why doesn't your mom go to the store?" Sophia asked. "We don't have enough money." "But what if you get hungry?" "We have some bread," Maddi said. "I guess I'll go home to eat," Sophia said. "Please don't tell anyone," Maddi said. "Okay." "Promise?" "I promise." Sophia ran past the bookstore and the grocery store. The sun went down behind the buildings and took all the colors with it. "Good timing," Mom said. "Dinner's almost ready." Louis was wrestling on the floor with Pepito. Sophia opened the refrigerator door. Pepito peeked inside. Sophia's fridge was full of milk and eggs and tortillas and cheese and lettuce and jam and salsa and tofu and even a half a can of dog food. Here you go, Mom said. Sophia and Louis each had a plate of fish and rice. Mom had a plate of fish and rice. Even Pepito had his bowl of dog food with a little bit of fish and rice. Maddi and Ryan only had some bread and a small carton of milk. Sophia couldn't tell Mom. She had to keep her promise to Maddi. Not fish again, Louis said. I want cheesy pizza bombs. Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat, Mom said. Fish is a good source of protein. Is fish good for kids? Sophia asked. Yes, Mom smiled. Fish is perfect for kids. That night, Sophia had an idea. What do you think Sophia's thinking about? Yuck, Maddi said the next day. Ugh, Sophia said, double yuck. Fish may be good for kids, but fish is not good for backpacks. It is smelly. After school, Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia got there first, but Maddi scrambled past her to the top of the wall. Sophia stretched and stretched. Keep trying, Maddi said. You'll get it. I can't. Sophia jumped down. It's too high. That night, Sophia, Louis, and Mom ate frittata. Pepito had his dog food with a little bit of frittata. Maddi and Ryan still had an empty refrigerator. Sophia couldn't ask for help. That would break her promise. She had to try again. Are eggs good for kids? Sophia asked. Not as good as cheesy pizza bombs, Louis said. Cheesy pizza bombs are a treat, Mom said. Eggs are good for you. After dinner, Sophia packed eggs for Maddi and Ryan. Yuck, Maddi said. Double yuck, Sophia said. Eggs may be good for kids, but eggs are not good for backpacks. It looks like they all cracked and stinks. Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won again, but Maddi shot past her to the top of the wall. Sophia grabbed one hold, reached for the next, and came down with a thump. That happens sometimes, Maddi called. This is impossible, Sophia said. Keep trying, Maddi said. You'll get it. That night, Sophia, Louis, and Mom had burritos. Pepito had his dog food with a little bit of burrito and no salsa. Maddi and Ryan still had an empty fridge. Sophia wished she hadn't promised Maddi. Are burritos good for kids? Sophia asked. Burritos are very good for you, Mom said. Not as good as, Louis started to say. You should pay attention to nutrition like your sister, Mom said. The next morning, Sophia put 2 burritos in her backpack along with tortillas, beans, cheese, and even some milk. No thanks, Maddi said. You haven't even looked, Sophia said. Is it fish? Maddi asked. No. Is it eggs? No. Is it gross? I don't know, Sophia said. Maddi shook the backpack. Something sloshed. Let's look together, Maddi said. 1, 2, 3, go. Burritos are good for kids and good for backpacks too. Do you want some milk? Sophia asked. Thanks, Maddi said, but I'll save the milk for Ryan. Sophia and Maddi raced to the climbing wall. Sophia won as usual and tried to climb. You can do it, Maddi said. Take my hand. Woohoo! I made it to the top, Sophia shouted. We're the tallest kids in the park, Maddi said. Thanks for helping me, Maddi. I couldn't do it alone. Maddi shrugged. That's what friends are for. After they finished playing, Sophia walked home past the bookstore and the grocery store. Her own fridge was full of milk and juice and chicken and yogurt and bread and carrots and even a half a can of dog food. She thought and thought and thought. Maddi's fridge only had 2 tortillas and a cup of beans and a bit of cheese and a little more milk than before. What should she do? Sophia didn't want to break her promise, but she couldn't help Maddi alone. Sophia told. She hoped Maddi wouldn't be mad. I'm glad you told me, Mom said. Let's see what we can do together. They loaded grocery bags with milk, flour, chicken, carrots, sugar, oil, and even frozen meat and vegetables. Louis pulled his package of cheesy pizza bombs out of the freezer. He thought and thought some more. Then he put his cheesy pizza bombs in Maddi and Ryan's bag. For a treat, he said. That's pretty great. At Maddi's apartment, the moms talked. Louis and Ryan played. Sophia and Maddi ran to the park. You broke your promise, Maddi said. I'm sorry, Sophia said. Are you mad? A promise is important, Maddi said. You're more important, Sophia said. I wanted you to have milk too. Maddi smiled. Are we still friends? Sophia asked. Always, Maddi said. Double always, Sophia said. Cheesy pizza bombs, Louis yelled. Our moms made cheesy pizza bombs for a treat. Sophia and Maddi raced up the stairs. Sophia slowed down so they could run together, because that's what friends are for. So they ran together. Sophia and Maddi climbed the wall together. Sophia got her mom to help Maddie's family. It was pretty great, right? That's what great friends are for. They help each other. This is Aubrey Severe. She's the office manager of the Community Service Clearinghouse. She's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay, so the Clearinghouse has operated for over 40 years, and we have the backpack program and we have a pantry here on site. So our backpack program, we serve around 2,400 kids a month. And so what that means is every Friday we take out bags to kiddos that may not be eating over the weekend. And it is super important because those kiddos are losing 30% of their education. You go home on Friday with lunch and you don't get anything till Monday at breakfast at school. Those kiddos need food over the weekend. So we're serving those at-risk kids that are not getting fed over the weekend. With our pantry, we serve elderly, disabled, and cancer patients, and 80% of them are cancer patients. And so they come here once a week to pick up a food box. And if that takes up, they're losing an income sometimes because they're having to be off work, they're having to pay for medical bills. Lots of financial strain goes onto those cancer patients. So they come to us once a week to pick up a food box that's filled with all kinds of goodies. And then the elderly and disabled that are on fixed income come and see us once a month. So that's what we do here at the Clearinghouse, is we just help our neighbors and try to serve who we can. And serve those kids in the schools, and we work with the counselors and the nurses and try to hit those kids that really, really need it. So,
you guys are such a vital part to the community. Thank you for letting me come in today.
absolutely, yes.
Food donations can be made to the Community Service Clearinghouse Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. They can be dropped off at 4420 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. For more information, check out their website. And also be sure and check out the other fun programming on the library's YouTube channel. Until next week, bye-bye.